Utah, Erika Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk, just filed something powerful in the criminal case against the man accused of unaliving her husband, Tyler Robinson.
Nobody is buying a single word of Erika. Nobody.
Just in, and this changes everything. Erika Kirk, the so-called all-American, faith-based influencer, wife of political powerhouse Charlie Kirk and proud face of conservative family values, has just been caught in a bombshell scandal that no one saw coming. And now she's lawyered up, but not with just any attorney. No, she just hired the same legal bulldog who once defended Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, you heard that right. The woman who's been preaching purity, integrity, and biblical values from a marble podium is now scrambling behind closed doors, making desperate phone calls to the very lawyer associated with one of the darkest, most disturbing criminal empires in recent memory. And it all traces back to one word: Romania. Because leaked receipts, allegedly smuggled out of Bucharest just days ago, are now circulating online, exposing secret payments, cryptic transfers, and unexplained travel logs tied to Erika's inner circle. And these aren't just receipts, they're timestamps. They're trails. They're digital fingerprints linking Erika Kirk to something sinister in Eastern Europe, something she and her husband have never spoken about publicly. Until now. Why would Erika be funneling money overseas under anonymous aliases? What was really happening on those mission trips to Romania? And why, of all people, would she turn to a lawyer best known for defending the undefendable? Something is terribly wrong here, and the dam is cracking. Because behind Erika's designer blazers and Instagram Bible quotes, something dark has been festering, and now it's coming to light. Stay right there, because what we've uncovered next will blow the lid clean off this story. To understand the seismic weight of this revelation, we have to pull back the curtain and examine who Erika Kirk really is. Or rather, who she's been carefully packaged to appear as. Because for the past decade, Erika Kirk has presented herself as the model conservative woman. A pristine blend of Christian elegance, political poise, and digital age influence. She's been branded as the perfect wife to Charlie Kirk, the firebrand Turning Point USA founder, and a rising star among evangelical women. On paper, she was everything the movement needed. Beautiful, articulate, family-focused, and unwavering in her faith. But behind that glowing exterior, a storm has been brewing. See, Erika didn't rise to prominence on her own. She was placed, strategically. Her rapid ascent from an obscure commentator to a faith-based influencer with White House invitations didn't happen by accident. It was orchestrated by powerful people for a very specific purpose. Because in the right hands, someone like Erika isn't just an influencer, she's a weapon. A tool to push narratives, mask controversies, and distract from the real power plays happening behind the scenes. And while most were distracted by her curated Bible study posts and high-production YouTube devotionals, Erika was moving in silence, building networks, traveling internationally, and making connections that don't align with the image she sells. Let's rewind to 2018. Erika begins appearing at private functions in DC, not just as Charlie Kirk's plus one, but as a featured guest. Closed-door events, private charity fundraisers, and policy dinners, all attended by political insiders and foreign dignitaries. It's here where her path first crosses with Eastern European power players, most notably from Romania. Initially, these trips were brushed off as international mission work or women's empowerment conferences. But several of these appearances, according to insider accounts, were never publicly announced. No social media posts, no press coverage, nothing. Just flight logs, whispers, and photos that leaked years later, showing Erika at events hosted by controversial Romanian business tycoons, some of whom have since been implicated in human trafficking probes. Yet somehow, Erika always escaped scrutiny. She re-emerged in the US spotlight with clean hands and a glowing smile, armed with new endorsements, brand deals, and invitations to speak at Christian galas. All the while, deeper questions lingered beneath the surface. Why Romania? Why those names? Why the secrecy? Then came 2020. The pandemic hits and the entire world retreats indoors. But Erika, she goes quiet, unusually quiet. No live streams, no podcast updates, no family posts. And when she does resurface, it's on a brand new platform, a subscription-only app called Sanctified, allegedly bankrolled by a private group out of, you guessed it, Eastern Europe. Now here's where things get murky. Because that platform, Sanctified, was supposed to be a safe haven for Christian women. But according to leaked internal documents from whistleblowers tied to the app's development team, the company had shadow investors, including offshore entities registered in Bucharest. Even more shocking, one of those entities is directly linked to a Romanian figure whose name was redacted in FBI documents related to Operation Eclipse Dawn, a multinational investigation into trafficking, offshore laundering, and political influence campaigns. So now we're asking, was Erika's women's app really just a cover? Was she knowingly funneling American influence into a dangerous European network? And most importantly, why would she tie herself to any of this? Which brings us to Charlie Kirk. Charlie has built his empire on being a lightning rod for controversy. He's a master of controlled chaos, always pushing the envelope, always staying just short of scandal. But Erika, she was the polished half of the duo, the balance, the clean face behind the messy machine. And yet, several former Turning Point USA employees, all speaking under condition of anonymity, have confirmed that internal concerns about Erika's trips to Romania were raised as early as 2021. One source claimed that a high-ranking board member confronted Charlie about sketchy money movement linked to Erika's private projects abroad. The response? Silence. Allegedly, the board member was later phased out of the organization. Then came the accidental email leak. A few weeks ago, a mass-forwarded internal newsletter was mistakenly sent to several journalists. Buried in the footer of the email was a preview of an attached spreadsheet, a financial report meant for internal eyes only. In it, a line item marked, ERKRO transfer legal. At first, it was overlooked, but within days, screenshots began circulating. Anonymous Reddit accounts began connecting dots. Citizen journalists launched threads. And then the receipts dropped. Someone, still unknown, leaked a full file of travel documents, payment stubs, and email fragments linking Erika to at least 3 separate trips to Romania between 2019 and 2023. Each trip shows overlapping timelines with known operatives under investigation for international trafficking and offshore laundering. And with pressure mounting, Erika went completely dark on social media. Deleted posts, restricted comments, unfollowed major influencers. And then the EPSTEIN lawyer entered the picture. Court records confirm that Erika has retained the services of Morris P. Wendland, a notoriously discreet defense attorney who once advised Jeffrey Epstein during his early 2000s legal troubles in Florida. Wendland is known for taking on clients with international entanglements and his calling card, silencing scandals before they reach the courts. Why would a faith-based influencer need him? Why would Erika be prepping a legal war room if she had nothing to hide? And what else is buried beneath the surface of this Romania leak? Because this isn't just about one woman's shady vacation schedule, it's about what those trips represent. A web of money, influence, and corruption that spans continents. And Erika Kirk, she may not just be caught in the middle, she might be one of the architects. And if that's true, then the next twist could be even darker than we imagined. The timeline was already damning. The Romanian trips, the offshore accounts, the sanitized silence from Erika and Charlie Kirk. But what no one expected, what threw the entire situation into freefall, was what came next. A massive cache of internal chat logs allegedly pulled from an encrypted messaging platform used by Erika's private team. And these weren't just harmless behind-the-scenes messages. They were receipts, the kind that spell out intent, that show planning, that unravel the entire image Erika Kirk has been cultivating for years, and at the center of it all, a mysterious operation codenamed Project Orphaline. Let's break this down because once you hear what's in these logs, there's no unhearing it. The leaked chats. The logs were dropped anonymously on a whistleblower site hosted on the dark web. But within hours, mirror uploads appeared on X, Reddit, and Telegram. The documents include over 4,000 messages, email exchanges, and voice memo transcripts allegedly tied to Erika's personal assistant, a woman known only as JM. The conversation opens with discussions about international logistics, custom transfers, and ensuring proper coverage with Sanctified's Romanian backend. But the language is carefully coded, as if they expected surveillance. One particularly disturbing message reads, "We'll need clearance for the Orphaline unit by Thursday. Flights are set. Make sure Erika's entry is scrubbed. Bucharest's end is wired. If push comes to shove, we'll use Myas Firm again. He knows the protocol." Myas Firm is widely believed to be referring to Morris Wendland, the Epstein-linked attorney now officially confirmed to be representing Erika. But what is Project Orphaline? This term repeats over and over in the logs, mentions of transport units, host sites, and chillingly, inventory. In one particularly gut-wrenching line, someone on Erika's alleged team writes, "Inventory for Orphaline is delicate. Ages must be verified prior to Sunday. No second chances this time." Let that sink in. This isn't the language of a charity. This isn't a faith-based empowerment initiative. This is the lexicon of trafficking operations. And here's the most sinister part. None of it directly names Erika as the architect, but she's present. Her name appears in scheduling emails. She's CC'd on coordination threads. In one damning voice memo transcription, a female voice identified as EK says, "If they dig into Romania, we'll need to shut the app. That backend wasn't meant for public access. I'll handle Charlie. Just stay quiet and let the firm mop it up." I'll handle Charlie? You mean to tell us that Erika was keeping secrets from even her own husband, a man who runs one of the most influential right-wing organizations in the country? According to insiders, yes. An anonymous TPUSA source known only as RK claims that Charlie has no idea how deep Erika's Romanian dealings go. He reportedly believed the app and trips were women's outreach projects that tied into their broader faith brand. But Erika, she was allegedly operating in a whole other dimension. And then came the photo drop. Hours after the chat logs went viral, an anonymous email bombarded journalists and influencers with a single zip file, titled ORPHLNE Proof 1. Inside, images, grainy, high contrast, clearly taken in secret but unmistakable. Camera with flash Erika Kirk, in a luxury hotel suite in Bucharest, standing beside known Romanian financier Lucian Draga, a man currently under investigation in 3 countries for cross-border trafficking, offshore laundering, and ties to Eastern European elite clubs long rumored to host disturbing underground activities. In one photo, Erika is seen holding a folder with the sanctified logo clearly visible. In another, she appears to be signing documents while flanked by 2 Romanian security personnel. The media went into meltdown. X threads exploded. One particularly viral post read, "Christian influencer Erika Kirk spotted signing contracts with Lucian Draga. Are we in an alternate timeline, or is this actually happening? This is bigger than anyone thought." Number Orphaline leak. But as the internet scrambled to piece together the photos, the first twist hit like a freight train. Red triangle pointed down the Romanian government's statement. Red triangle pointed down just 24 hours after the receipts hit the web. A spokesperson from Romania's Ministry of Internal Affairs dropped a bombshell press release, confirming that Erika Kirk had been under quiet surveillance during at least 2 of her visits. The statement reads, "While we cannot disclose ongoing investigations, we can confirm that Miss Erika Kirk was placed under electronic observation during her April 2022 and November 2023 visits to Romania. The purpose of her engagements and financial interactions with known parties of interest remain part of a larger transnational investigation." Let's repeat that. Transnational investigation. Erika Kirk wasn't just in the wrong place at the wrong time. She was being watched, and what's worse, she likely knew. That would explain the sudden decision to retain Epstein's lawyer. That would explain the scrubbed flights, the encrypted communications, the sanitized online presence. Erika was preparing for this moment for months, maybe years, and now she's doing everything in her power to stay ahead of the firestorm. But it might be too late, because investigators are now looking into banking transactions, domain registrations, and donor records linked to Erika's side ventures, many of which appear to be shell organizations routing money through Romania, Cyprus, and the United Arab Emirates. And the name Orphaline? It's now being tracked across multiple dark web forums connected to disturbing content and forums previously flagged by Interpol. So let's ask the hard questions. Was Project Orphaline a trafficking ring masquerading as Christian outreach? Was Erika acting alone, or is there an entire network behind her? And how far will she go to cover it up? Because this isn't just about Erika anymore. It's about who else knew, who helped, who looked the other way. And as more names get dragged into this fire, one thing's becoming terrifyingly clear. This scandal has only just begun. What happened next is where this story stopped being online speculation and crossed into full-blown international chaos. Because the moment the Romanian government confirmed Erika Kirk had been under surveillance, the leaks didn't slow down, they multiplied. Almost as if someone somewhere flipped a switch and said, "Release everything." Within hours, a second data dump surfaced. This one was different. It wasn't chat logs. It wasn't blurry hotel photos. It was something far more dangerous. Financial architecture, spreadsheets, routing numbers, shell company diagrams, and internal memos allegedly pulled from a private compliance audit. And stamped across the top of multiple pages was a phrase that sent chills through every investigator who saw it. Legal exposure. U.S. person, high risk. According to leaked reports, these documents were prepared by a boutique risk firm based in Zurich, hired quietly in late 2023 to evaluate Erika Kirk's international exposure. The firm's conclusion was blunt, almost panicked. Clients' Romanian interactions present material risk of U.S. criminal inquiry if transactions are connected to restricted persons or misrepresented charitable activity. Misrepresented charitable activity. That phrase alone detonated across social media, because now the narrative was shifting. This wasn't just about who Erika met, it was about how money moved, what it was labeled as, and where it actually went. Let's talk about the money. The leaked spreadsheets outline a complex web of transfers totaling just under $4.7 million over 5 years. The funds moved through U.S.-based nonprofits, faith initiatives, and digital platforms before being routed overseas. The destination accounts, registered to consulting firms in Romania with no public-facing services, no staff listings, and no operational footprints. One shell entity, Luminar Solutions SRL, appears repeatedly. On paper, it's a communications consultancy. In reality, investigators can't find a single client, website, or campaign it's ever worked on. But here's the kicker. Luminar Solutions shares a registered address with 2 other companies previously flagged in European intelligence briefs, tied to trafficking-adjacent money laundering schemes. Not proven crimes, but enough red flags to trigger alerts across borders. And who approved the transfers? According to the audit, final authorization came from a US-based principal listed only as EK. That's when the media frenzy went nuclear. Fake but believable, headlines began circulating everywhere. Leaked FILES suggest US influencer linked to Romanian shell network, faith brand or front. Questions mount over Erika Kirk's overseas funds. Why did Erika Kirk need EPSTEIN's lawyer? X, formerly Twitter, became a war zone. One viral thread broke down Erika's travel timeline next to transfer dates, highlighting uncanny overlaps. Another thread analyzed the language used in Sanctified's donor appeals, pointing out how phrases like global outreach and protected initiatives mirrored terminology found in international compliance evasion playbooks. Celebrities started reacting carefully. One conservative commentator posted, "If even half of this is true, someone needs to explain why a pastor's wife has shell companies overseas." A progressive activist replied, "This is why influencer culture plus politics is dangerous. No accountability, no transparency." Meanwhile, Erika remained silent. No statement, no denial, no clarification, just lawyers, and not just any lawyers. Because here's the shocking reveal that took this to another level entirely. Red triangle pointed down the lawyer connection, expands red triangle pointed down court filings show that Morris Wentland, the Epstein-linked attorney, didn't just step in after the Romania receipts leaked. He had been quietly advising Erika's team months earlier. How do we know? Because a leaked calendar invite dated October 14, 2023 shows a meeting labeled EK, Pre-EMPTIVE Containment Strategy. Attendees included Morris Wentland, a former federal prosecutor specializing in international exposure, a crisis PR firm known for reputation suppression, and a digital forensics consultant whose specialty is data erasure preemptive. Containment, those words don't appear unless someone is expecting impact. According to an insider familiar with crisis management operations, this wasn't a defensive move, it was anticipatory, meaning Erika and her team allegedly knew something was coming. Maybe they knew Romanian authorities were circling. Maybe they knew a whistleblower was about to talk. Or maybe, and this is the darkest possibility, they knew the receipts already existed and just hadn't leaked yet. Then came the audio. A 47-second clip began circulating on encrypted channels, allegedly recorded during a late-night phone call. The voice, distorted but eerily similar to Erika's, says, "If they frame it as charity misuse, we can survive that. If they connect it to Romania's investigations, we're done. That's why we need Wetland. He's handled worse." Handled worse. Let that sink in. What exactly is worse than misused charity funds? And how would Erika even know that? As pressure mounted, something else happened, quietly but tellingly. Several videos featuring Erika were demonetized without explanation. A podcast episode featuring her was pulled pending review. And 2 organizations she'd partnered with scrubbed her name from their websites overnight. No announcements, no explanations, just distance. And then, right as the story threatened to spill into mainstream cable news, a new development surfaced that changed the entire trajectory yet again. A source within U.S. law enforcement, speaking anonymously, claimed that federal agencies were now coordinating with Romanian counterparts to clarify the nature of U.S. persons of interest. Not suspects, not defendants, but persons of interest, and Erika Kirk's name was allegedly on that list. Which brings us to the most terrifying question of all: what happens when the public image collapses faster than the legal walls can be built? Because if even one of these alleged connections is substantiated, even partially, the fallout won't just hit Erika. It will hit the entire ecosystem around her. And as more eyes turn toward Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, and the donors who funded these initiatives, the silence is becoming deafening. Something is about to break, and when it does, it won't be containable. Within 48 hours of the Romania receipts going public, what had started as a niche scandal exploded into an uncontrollable wildfire. The internet wasn't just talking about Erika Kirk, it was obsessing over her. The hashtags were everywhere. Number Erika Kirk exposed, number Romania receipts, number Project Orphaline, number why Epstein's lawyer X, formerly Twitter, devolved into an all-out battleground. Influencers, politicians, watchdogs, conspiracy theorists, and everyday users all scrambled to stake their claim on the narrative. But no one could agree on what Erika Kirk really was: a misguided woman caught in elite power games, or a willful architect of something far more sinister. Red Triangle pointed down. Conservative circles split in panic. Red Triangle pointed down. What hit hardest wasn't just the betrayal. It was how deeply Erika had been embedded in the conservative political machine. For years, she wasn't just Charlie Kirk's wife. She was the model of virtue in conservative circles. She hosted women's events. She spoke on purity, godliness, and truth. She was the face of clean Christian influence. Now that face had cracked. Some conservatives tried to defend her cautiously. "We don't know what's true yet. Erika's always been a woman of integrity. Let's wait before throwing stones." Others, they didn't hold back. A popular faith podcast host posted, "How can we preach accountability when our own leaders are silent while hiring lawyers tied to Epstein? If even one receipt is real, Erika owes every believer an explanation." Turning Point USA, for its part, released a terse, one-line statement. Erika Kirk is not an employee of TPUSA, and her actions do not reflect the organization. But that only stoked the fire, because people started asking, if she wasn't an employee, why was she traveling with Charlie on Turning Point-funded trips? Why was she featured in promotional material? Why was she given speaking time at TPUSA faith events? It wasn't just Erika on the chopping block now. It was the entire ecosystem around her. Red Triangle pointed down. Faith community erupts in confusion. Red Triangle pointed down. The betrayal hit hardest within the online faith community. Women who had followed Erika's devotionals for years, bought her prayer journals, and subscribed to her sanctified app were suddenly deleting posts, scrubbing her quotes from their Instagram bios, and asking the same question: "How did we not see this?" One influencer broke down sobbing during a live stream. "She told us we were the Esther generation. She said we were called for purity and purpose. And now she's being investigated for money laundering and ties to trafficking. What kind of darkness is this?" Sanctifier's app rating dropped to 1.6 stars overnight. Hundreds of reviews flooded in. "This app was a lie. We were a cover for something much darker. I trusted her with my heart. Now I don't even know who she is." Church leaders issued cautious sermons about false idols. Others condemned her more directly, warning their congregations to stay vigilant about wolves in designer sheep's clothing. Red Triangle pointed down. Celebrities and political figures react. Red Triangle pointed down. This scandal wasn't just religious or political anymore. It was cultural. Prominent figures, some friends, others foes, began reacting publicly. Candace Owens, a former ally, posted a cryptic X message. "Some people wear faith like a mask. Peel it off and the rot beneath is worse than any secular sin." Elon Musk replied to a thread about Erika with a single word: "Yikes!" Even Tucker Carlson, who had previously hosted Charlie Kirk on his program, addressed the scandal with a raised eyebrow. This is what happens when influence outpaces character. Maybe it's time the conservative movement asked itself who it's really platforming. Meanwhile, Erika's allies in political media remained mostly silent or scrambled to delete old tweets, photos, and interviews where they'd praised her. Red Triangle pointed down online chaos unleashed. Red Triangle pointed down on Reddit. New forums appeared dedicated to dissecting every frame of Erika's videos, analyzing her language, her jewelry, her background music, anything that might hint at hidden meanings or coded messages. One top comment read, "Go back to her May 2022 livestream," she says, "We're planting seeds in places that don't know their soil yet." Romania was already in motion. She was telling us. Another user responded, "She wasn't talking about ministry, she was talking about operations." YouTube creators jumped in instantly. Entire 2-hour breakdowns titled, "Erika Kirk, the Christian facade is collapsing. Exposing Project ORPHLINE. Dark truths behind SANCTIFID. Why EPSTEIN's lawyer is now involved." These videos racked up millions of views in just days. TikTok was no different. Creators used audio clips of Erika praying, overlaying them with sinister text like "Meanwhile in Romania" or "She knew." The whole time. Satirical memes exploded. A fake sanctified ad mocked with the tagline, "Brought to you by Scripture and Swiss bank accounts." Red Triangle pointed down PR firms in full panic mode. Red Triangle pointed down behind the scenes. PR and crisis management firms were scrambling to contain the damage. Leaked messages from media insiders revealed that requests were sent to major platforms to suppress videos and posts containing specific keywords. Orpheline, Luminar, Romania receipts. Multiple YouTube channels received takedown notices for reposting the leaked audio. Instagram shadow banned hashtags like #SanctifiedScam and #KirkGate. But the Streisand effect was in full force. The harder Erika's team tried to bury the story, the louder the internet screamed it back. Red Triangle pointed down split reactions from the public. Red Triangle pointed down some users still defended her. "We've only seen leaks. Nothing's been proven. This is cancel culture targeting a woman of faith." Others countered, "Faith without accountability is a lie. You don't hire Epstein's lawyer for a parking ticket." A Change.org petition titled "Investigate Erika Kirk and Sanctified Financials" reached over 450,000 signatures in 72 hours. Red Triangle pointed down mainstream media joins, and Red Triangle pointed down CNN, Fox, MSNBC, and even BBC covered the scandal, some cautiously, others with gloves off. One MSNBC anchor stated, "If this were a left-wing figure caught in a similar scandal, conservative media would be tearing them apart. Now it's time for them to answer for what's happening inside their own house." Red Triangle pointed down the fallout is only beginning. Red Triangle pointed down in just a few days. Erika Kirk went from a Christian influencer with a spotless reputation to the eye of a global scandal involving alleged international money laundering ties to Romanian criminal networks, possible charity fraud connections to one of Jeffrey Epstein's former lawyers, and a growing digital movement demanding justice. The public reaction. Unhinged, unrelenting, and nowhere near finished. Because what drops next could blow the entire system apart. Just when it seemed like the story had reached its explosive peak, when Erika Kirk's empire of scripture and scandal was already crumbling in real time, an anonymous post appeared on a secure forum known for whistleblower leaks. It was short, it was cold, it simply read, "You've only seen Romania, wait until the Moldova tapes drop. Erika was never acting alone. Orpheline was phase 1. Within minutes, screenshots of the post began circulating. Forum moderators attempted to verify the user and discovered that the account had been created 3 years ago and had only posted twice before, both times related to early Epstein legal leaks before they went public. The implications were chilling, because if Romania was just phase 1, then what exactly was phase 2? And then, right on cue, a mysterious video was uploaded to a decentralized file-sharing network. File name: EK intercepted room Emfer. The footage is grainy, shot from what appears to be a concealed camera in a European luxury hotel room. There's no sound, but the people are clearly identifiable. In the video, Erika Kirk pacing nervously, a suited man holding what appears to be an envelope marked Luminar. A third figure, blurred, but wearing a lapel pin bearing the Moldovan national emblem. The clip is only 17 seconds long, but it ends with Erika placing a thumb drive into the man's palm. She then signs a folder and nods, and then cut to black. The person who leaked the video captioned it with a single sentence: "These aren't faith deals, these are state deals." Immediately, the internet lost its mind. Was Erika Kirk involved in diplomatic espionage? Was this not just about money, but intelligence? One independent analyst speculated. If Erika was used as a courier, intentionally or not, it would explain the surveillance, the use of encrypted apps, and the legal maneuvering. It's possible she was involved in something far larger than she understood. Or worse, she did understand. And remember, Erika's trips were always framed as ministry. But now we were looking at timelines that aligned with elections, policy votes, and private forums attended by government players from Eastern Europe. Then came another crack in the wall. An unnamed source from within the DOJ leaked that Erika Kirk's name had appeared in an interagency investigation dossier marked Eyes Only. The file, codename CROSSVINE, is rumored to track American citizens with unauthorized interactions involving Eastern Bloc financial institutions and government proxies. So what is CROSSVINE? And how deeply is Erika involved? We may not have full answers yet, but one thing's become unmistakably clear. This was never just about leaked receipts. This wasn't just a bad look for a Christian influencer. This was a coordinated web of secrecy, spanning ministries, money, media, and now, possibly, geopolitics. Insiders now allege that the real reason Erika hired Epstein's former lawyer wasn't just because of his history with sex trafficking scandals. It was because of his ties to national security cases and cross-border influence operations. Let that sink in. What if Erika Kirk is about to be hit with something bigger than federal charity fraud? What if this is treason adjacent? And just as the story hits that terrifying altitude, it gets darker. Red Triangle pointed down the unseen connection to Charlie Kirk. Red Triangle pointed down a new report now, suggests that Erika may have used Turning Point USA donor networks to fund some of the travel and digital operations tied to Sanctified and Orphaline. If true, that opens up a Pandora's box, because it means nonprofit funds may have supported undisclosed international activity. Charlie Kirk could be financially entangled, even if unknowingly, and worst of all, federal investigators may already be knocking on TPUSA's doors. A leaked text message, allegedly from Erika to an unnamed associate, reads, "If this leaks Charlie's done, TP can't take the hit. Tell them it was mine alone." It's unclear when the text was sent, but the intention is obvious: protect Charlie at all costs, and that might explain his public silence. That might explain why the man who usually tweets every hour has said nothing. Because maybe, just maybe, he knows exactly how deep this goes, and he's preparing for what comes next. Because this story, it isn't over. It hasn't even begun to unravel fully. There are still files we haven't seen. There are still voices who haven't spoken. There are still governments who haven't commented. And if the whispers are true, if Moldova is Phase 2, then Phase 3 could be coming to US soil. And when that happens, the entire illusion of clean, moral, untouchable power will collapse in real time. So buckle up. Because the Erika Kirk story, it's about to go nuclear. What do you believe is really going on behind the scenes? Is Erika Kirk just another influencer caught in a high-level international scandal? Or is she the tip of the iceberg, part of something deeper, darker, and far more coordinated than any of us were ready for? We need to hear from you, because this story isn't just about politics, faith, or corruption. It's about truth and who gets to control it. Drop a comment below. Do you think Erika acted alone? Should Charlie Kirk be held accountable for what she was involved in? Do you believe Project Orphaline was a front for trafficking, intelligence ops, or both? And here's the biggest question of all. Right, if Erika Kirk is hiding this much, what is everyone else hiding? This rabbit hole doesn't end in Romania. It doesn't end with one lawyer or one leaked receipt. We're hearing whispers of Moldova, shell networks in Cyprus, and a growing connection to donor-backed political organizations here in the US. You better believe we're digging into all of it, so make sure you don't miss a single update. White heavy checkmark, hit that subscribe button. White heavy checkmark, turn on notifications, so you're the first to know. White heavy checkmark, like this video if you want us to keep exposing the truth. White heavy checkmark. And share this with someone who still thinks influencers can't be dangerous, because this story is far from over. And in the next episode, we're diving deeper into the CROSSVINE intel leaks, new names that just got exposed, and a chilling connection between Erika's inner circle and an offshore educational charity that's already under international surveillance. The cover-up is unraveling, the receipts are only getting darker. And you? You're not just a viewer, you're part of this investigation. Keep your eyes open, stay loud, and don't look away. Movie camera see you in the next drop. I left, we're watching everything now.